Try the Facelift filter. This is a different pattern than I normally use, but we're going to use the Science of Pretty highlighter and darkening concealers. I already have foundation on top of this, which is going to allow me to use a lot less of this and will reduce the blending time. Let's get started. I'm going to start with the highlighting areas, and I wiped off the tip first so that I don't get too much. I already feel like that's a lot. And we got some here. Some here, and it looks like a thin line here, and a little bit on the tip of the nose in a heart shape. I'll be doing good just to get a circle. All right, now let's do the contour. Definitely wiping off the tip of this one. We don't want, this is a very concentrated formula, and we don't want to be blending for 3 days here. So let's start up here. I don't think I need to fill in the triangle. This is pretty intense stuff, so it's gonna fill in a couple of little dots here. Oh, there we go. Here, this is interesting. I've never put contour there before. And now that the brush is pretty well utilized, I'm going to try to get these nose lines. Ooh, that's tricky. All right, on the cheeks, that feels very, very scary. And here, all right, let's see how we did and take the filter off. Okay, so here's what the pattern looks like without the filter on. And I'm gonna get started blending with the Siren brush. I'm just gonna start on the bottom, and it's probably going to take some time, but I'm going to try and not edit, just so you could see if the result is good and you wanted to do something like this, like how much of a commitment are you looking at for the timing. This is kind of scary. Definitely have a little bit more on this side than I do on this side. So the brush doesn't do a very good job of transferring makeup because it doesn't hold on to product, which is ultimately a good thing. So you can go back and forth between the contour and the highlight. That does make it easier, but if you're trying to transfer over where you've gotten too much makeup onto the other side where you don't have enough, it doesn't really work that way. All right, so we're blending upward. That was an instruction on the filter. There were little arrows pointing up. And okay, I mean, I feel like we're doing okay so far. The blend looks good. I mean, I don't know. Let's reserve judgment for the end. The forehead ends up being pretty much the same thing that I normally do. We got some highlight here. And here I'm going to try carefully not to disturb. Use the smaller end of the brush to get into that corner. There we go, and try not to disturb that nose contour, but here we are. So let's just go ahead and do it. Wherever those lines sit, you're going to have the most impact. So kind of letting it sit for a minute is definitely okay, and part of the magic, really, because that is where you're going to get your strongest payoff. So I feel like there definitely needs to be more highlight over here. So I'm just going to beef that up a little bit so it matches the other side. And this is an area that I generally tell people not to mess with if you're any kind of beginner or novice with makeup, is this connecting your brows down to your nose. You can, if you don't do it just right, you can really make it look very distracting. So I don't usually recommend that, but This is an interesting place for contour as well. I would push that in just to get it over the hooded eyes, but okay. So I'm just gonna kind of go over everything now with the brush and kind of smooth everything out. And then we'll ask ourselves how we did. Is it a facelift? I don't know. I kind of miss the highlight right here, but I definitely think that this is attractive and definitely worth having tried it. These little makeup dates with yourself when you try new things really open you up to expanding your skill set with makeup and giving you informed opinions instead of basing your makeup opinions off of fear and I can't try that because I'm too scared. You can make an opinion based on actual experience by having tried it, even if you decide in the end to go back to your regular contour pattern. I highly recommend trying things like this, and I'm happy to provide the makeup to do it with. The Science of Pretty duo is in my TikTok shop and in stock.